What's up, y'all? We're here for an edition of Opening Up. It's something that I've done in the past where whatever I get in the mail that relates to my social media, being an influencer, a healthy lifestyle, things that I'm into, I open up those boxes. A lot of times it's brands I work with or people that I'm sponsored by. I'll open up those things, and then I also open up about something that's going on in my life just to kind of talk to you guys, connect a little bit. And today we've got 3 packages over here, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about Jiu Jitsu, something that I just started recently. So let's get into that first package. Alright, so the first supplement that we've got here is Hydrocarb, something I use a lot, almost daily. This supplement here is going to be a fast digesting carbohydrate supplement. If you do especially a sport related activity or something that's probably going to require a little bit more of an electrolyte or carb depleting exertion by you, like jiu-jitsu like I do, or if you, like I play flag football as well, especially in the summer, something like this is going to come in handy. Or if maybe even if you're just doing lifting or bodybuilding but you're doing a lot of high intensity interval training, or you just didn't get in the correct amount of carbs you needed that day to feel like you have that explosive type of energy. I use this a lot. I use it almost every day that I go to jiu-jitsu. Really the only time I wouldn't use it is if I was to not be at the house where I could grab it on the go. So it looks like we've got 2 supplements in here. We've got glutamine as well as energy EAAs. This is specifically the raspberry iced tea flavor, which I can attest to is fire. My girlfriend's obsessed with raspberry, so it fits perfect for what she likes, but I liked it a lot too. I've used it multiple times, but this is actually for her. And then it's something I just use occasionally. And then the glutamine is flavorless, so there is no flavor on this one. One really cool thing about the glutamine, this is pure glutamine. There's not any other ingredients in this, and there's 100 servings. So for the price, compared to a lot of supplements, getting 100 servings of something is just, you know, the what you pay versus what you get is just off the charts with glutamine. For your recovery, muscle soreness, again, a lot of these things that I've always taken for bodybuilding are now benefiting me a lot in jiu-jitsu as well, because there's just a different type of recovery that you go through with jiu-jitsu. It's a lot more joint related versus muscle soreness in bodybuilding, and sometimes there's muscle soreness in jiu-jitsu as well. But you kind of, bodybuilding, you pretty much hurt the joints a little bit over time if you really push yourself crazy hard. Like if you're a competitor or a power lifter. But jiu-jitsu, your joints are getting kind of tested all the time, especially in the beginning when you don't know how to flow as well, which is the transition I'm going through right now. Team white belt, you know, white belt life.
The game plan is you go in there, hit them with some good shit, don't get hit, and come home with a pocket full of cash.
EAAs is essential amino acids. That's what that stands for. The amino blend of essential amino acids is going to include things like glutamine, arginine, leucine, valine, isoleucine, citrulline, etc. It goes on, and then this is going to add caffeine to the mix. So it's almost like having your branched chain amino acids with some caffeine. So this is something cool that you can drink at pretty much any time. My girlfriend uses it actually as a pre-workout even on some days. So there's that, and then glutamine straight for recovery. Here we've got Ballistic Hydro Pump. This is a new supplement here. So the Ballistic, the pre-workout, this is a fully formulated pre-workout. This is Rocket Pop flavor, which is the fan favorite, it seems, with pre-workout for us. Also Peach Rings. Actually, Peach Rings may be the favorite, I'm not sure, but it's one of those 2 for sure. They also have a few other flavors, Blue Raz and Citrus Blast. I like Rocket Pop and Peach Rings. I don't know which one's my favorite. You know, Blue Raz is a sleeper. That's a sleeper pick too, I'm not gonna lie. Citrus Blast is probably last for me, but it's not that it's a bad flavor. I don't know. I'm going to have to think on that one. It's a fully formulated pre-workout, and a lot of companies, what they do is they come out with a pump supplement because they've underdosed their pre-workout a little bit, so that you kind of need to get both supplements. That's how they kind of trick you into buying 2 supplements.
But where I come from, people like that get slapped.
EPN is not doing that with this, and I actually was curious how they were going to handle it, if they were going to change the formulation of Ballistic so that Hydra Pump, it just complements it. But this is a completely separate thing. This is a non-stim pre-workout, so it's fully formulated as well, but it doesn't have stimulants. So you're not going to have your caffeine, you're not going to have green teas and things like that. Citrulline, 5 grams, 2 grams of beta-alanine. This also has the same amount of citrulline and beta-alanine. Let me make sure, yep. I believe a little more alpha GPC in the Hydra Pump. Yes, because there's not having the stimulants, the alpha GPC is going to help that focus a little bit more. And this is Cherry Blast flavor, which I know a lot of people aren't cherry fans. So there is a pineapple flavor as well, which I'm sure is phenomenal. But I'm just a cherry guy. I know a lot of people think cherry tastes like cough medicine half the time, but this doesn't actually. It's actually pretty good. Again, I'm a cherry guy, so I'm a little biased. Hey, if you're really hardcore, and look, I'm never going to be one to instruct anybody to take more servings than what it tells you to take on the bottle. But if you're really hardcore, you might just throw a little bit of Hydra Pump in Ballistic just to get some more blood flow on that particular day. I'm not saying I have. I'm not saying you should. Always follow the instructions on the bottle, of course. But that's all the different things that I got in packages. It happens to all be supplements this time. One thing I do want to point out, if you haven't noticed, if you're not familiar with EPN supplements, is all of these containers are now black and gold. They used to have white labels, black containers, and this is like a, what would you call it, like a metallic gold. They had like a flat, lighter gold. It definitely appeals more to the aesthetics that I'm into and what I would design. So I'm a fan of it. I think it was a cool change. It seems like they're a company that consistently gives us more as sponsored athletes, consistently gives the customer more just based on how they formulate things, new supplements, expand their line, cooler branding now. So it's only been up since I've been with EPN and how much I like the brand. So that's something really cool. It's going to definitely keep a lot of sponsored athletes and customers happy. So we'll move on now to Jiu-Jitsu talk. When you're a beginner in Jiu-Jitsu, there's a lot to learn, and it's kind of one of those things like bodybuilding where you could never learn everything. Bodybuilding's a little bit less guided because in Jiu-Jitsu there's belts. You can get white belt, blue belt, purple, brown, black, and then as kids there's different colors for the kids. But in bodybuilding there's not really a set, oh, you're at this level now, you're at this level now. So it's a little bit more free and like your advancement, no one really knows how advanced anyone is. With Jiu-Jitsu you have the belts to obviously be able to tell. And different belts, or people of the same belt could be different levels because they have different coaches. Different coaches award them their belts. It's a really, really fun sport. It's something that I enjoy because it's like bodybuilding where you can never really achieve a fully perfect physique. I mean, maybe some people they have some competitor out there or some influencer out there that they think has a perfect physique. But really, most bodybuilders will tell you there is no end game. There is no like, damn, I've achieved the physique, the perfect physique of all mankind. I've done it. It's over. It's never ending. That's why a lot of people love it so much. Because say it was ending to where you get to one point and you're done, now what? You know, people who are serial competitors kind of in a way, and almost like serial entrepreneurs in sport is kind of how I see myself and a lot of people in the bodybuilding and jiu-jitsu community. I expected jiu-jitsu actually to make it tougher on me in bodybuilding, and I expected bodybuilding to make it tougher on me in jiu-jitsu, and so I was kind of conflicted in the beginning. However, I've come to realize if you do it correctly, if you find a schedule that works for you, if you take care of your joints and your body and your diet, jiu-jitsu will limber you up, which Now, if you're in powerlifting, it's probably not going to benefit you as much, but it will limber you up to where you can go deeper in a wider range of movement in your lifts, which can allow you, if you know bodybuilding well, the more you can go into a wide range of emotion, the more muscle mass you're able to build. If you're constricted to a smaller amount, you're going to be tight and stiff, and your muscles are going to be shorter because they're tighter all the time, and so you can't build as much mass. You may think you are, and people may think the guys that walk around looking like, super stiff and short arm, T-Rex arm because they're so swole are the biggest mass monsters, but really the people who can go through a wide range of motion to build muscle mass throughout the entire range, they can actually put more muscle on over time and have a more aesthetic physique as well. No one wants to walk around looking like this, and if you do, I would argue that it's not what most people would consider aesthetic. It may be aesthetic in your opinion, and then again, going back to jiu-jitsu, I've noticed by far, most of the guys that I roll with that would be in my weight class that do not lift, they're not even close to my strength level. I've just had years in the game of bodybuilding to where I'm very strong for my weight class. I'm not saying overall, like, I'm not a guy who's going to have some, like, just amazing deadlift or squat that's going to, like, blow people away, because people lift thousands of pounds these days. Almost always stronger than those guys. And if I'm not, it's not because they've just been doing jiu-jitsu. It's just because they've either bodybuilded or they naturally have more muscle mass. Maybe they're a shorter, stockier guy, but they're still my weight because they're shorter, that type of thing. However, don't get it twisted. In jiu-jitsu, technique is going to be strength. If the guy with strength doesn't have technique, every time, it's just going to be a matter of time. You're going to roll, and the guy might be trying to throw around the smaller guy or the guy who's weaker, but if he doesn't have technique, he's eventually going to get caught. He's going to get caught, and he's not going to know what the hell to do. So don't sleep on the fact that technique that's the game in jiu-jitsu. I'm just saying it benefits you a lot if you also lift weights and you stay strong. And I'm no expert. Don't take my word as doctrine in jiu-jitsu, but I'm just saying from my experience, the best combination is if you can be agile, have a really great cardio, be very strong, but also be limber. That's the best combination for jiu-jitsu in my experience as a white belt. So again, take it with a grain of salt. But I also competed. This is the last thing we'll touch on here. I competed in jiu-jitsu in Naga, which is an organization that puts on grappling competitions. Okay, there we go. I brought home the silver medal. Hopefully you guys can see that. It was a pretty fun experience. Of course, I'm always in there to get gold in any competition I'm doing. I'm always in there to get first place. But you live and you learn, and it was a situation where I got to the championship match. I was winning the championship match, and there was only a minute left, but I was only up by 1 point. And it's just something I had to learn from. In that moment, I was in the guy's guard. I had taken him down. I was trying to pass his guard, and it had not been working. He had a really good guard as far as keeping me from passing. I was trying to pass, but I was trying to not lose position or get submitted. And I should have stood up, and I should have backed away, because throughout the whole tournament, no one took me down. And that's probably my best attribute as a beginner jiu-jitsu competitor, is it's really hard for people to take me down, and I'm pretty good at taking people down. So what I should have done, being in the lead, is not played around his guard. I should have stood up, backed away, played to my strengths, and said, okay, if he wants to win this, he's going to have to get up and take me down in this last minute. And I know that I'm really good at keeping people from taking me down. So I should have forced him into a position like that. It's my first tournament. I'm still learning. I was still throughout the tournament trying to grasp being in the zone and doing everything I need to do in the match while also trying to hear what my coach is saying. So that was new for me as well. I haven't done that since I wrestled back one year in middle school, so that type of one-on-one sport where you have one coach just yelling at you, it was something new for me as well. However, props to that guy. I don't take anything away from him. He did what he had to do. In that last minute, he pulled off an arm bar that I was going to be willing to fight through. I knew I was in the lead before he tried to go for that. I was going to try to fight through it no matter what and just hold and hold and hold. And then I started to hear my elbow pop. And when I started to hear and feel just pop, pop, I heard two of them real quick. And he was cranking, because he's trying to finish the match. I tapped, because you got to live to fight another day. If it would have been him choking my neck and I would have started to go, see black a little bit, like things were going dark, I would have probably, I can't say without being in that position, but I probably would have just allowed him to choke me all the way out, just for the chance that I may get enough air to remain in the competition and him not beat me. Or I think it would have possibly, depending on the submission, it might have been him up by 1 point, or it might have been a tie and we go into another round, but I would have probably let myself go out. However, a joint getting torn or something like that, it already started to tear a little bit, which I'm dealing with now. You have to just live to fight another day. Maybe if you're talking world championship, you're talking not beginner level things where it's your first tournament and you want to continue to do a lot more in the future, then maybe you ride or die till the end and you let it tear and you still win. But I wasn't willing to do that, not at this point in my jiu-jitsu career. So that's the experience that I got from it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I can't thank Next Generation MMA, Chris Brennan, Lucas Brennan, all the black belts, all the higher level belts, all the white belts, everyone that's ever helped me in jiu-jitsu, because without them I couldn't have done it, and it was a great experience. I'm going to continue to do it, and hopefully I'll bring home the gold next time for you guys, for myself, family, my girl, the coaches, everybody. That's the plan. I will compete again. I promise you guys, it's not over. Now it's the road to gold. The best thing that could have happened is me to, in that last minute, messed up and gotten silver. Because if I would have gotten gold, I don't know that I would have the fire in me that I have now. It's on now. I'm coming. It's the road to gold. I don't know what my next tournament will be, but we'll see. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you want to get a discount on these supplements, EPN supplements, it's Enhanced Performance Nutrition, use code CHROME at checkout. There's going to be a link under the YouTube video in the description, like there always is. I'll put the code on the screen. Thank you guys. Have a good one. Shine time, baby.